Hello, um, there's going to be crying in this video again. I can promise you that once, the floodgates open, it's hard to shut it. And, uh, I spent all night yesterday and all morning this morning thinking, and I talked a bit to one of the friends, and this isn't easy to say. I was wrong. I misread my friend. I was still so in my trauma that I couldn't see anything else. And I messaged my friend, the one who left the group. I wanted to, at least end it on sort of friendly terms. And so I thanked her for what she's given me. And I asked for forgiveness for misunderstanding her. She called me and we talked for 3 hours, about, give or take. It was a good talk, but during the talk I also realized some things about me, and it's not easy to confront the darkness in yourself and to realize that you're not who you thought you were. And I did break down yesterday for a proper reason. We've talked today, and I've talked to the group, and I understand so much more now. Not nearly enough, but I understand more. I was acting completely from my trauma. I was following the trauma pattern to a T. I wasn't being my authentic self when interacting with them. I was trying to make sure that everyone was okay. Always, are you okay? Are you okay? Are you okay? Are you okay? To the point where I was trying to wrap them up in wool so that my spikes wouldn't hurt them. But doing so, I was rolling around them, poking them all the time, treating them like they had no agency of their own, treating them like they weren't responsible for their own trauma and their own reactions. I was trying to manage it for them. And I was so worried about being the perfect friend that I forgot to be a friend, you know? In theory, I tried to, follow the theory of a good friend, what a good friend is, but I didn't act it. I hid a lot of parts from them because I was scared that they would judge those parts. And I was, like I said, trying to control them in a way. And inadvertently. And part of the reason was because I was so scared of failing. I was so scared of failing at being a friend that I failed at being a friend. I mean, that's the irony in it all, isn't it? The trauma, you know. You think you're doing a good job. I was like, well, this time I'm gonna act differently. I've been a sucky friend all my life, but this time I'm going to act differently. And then I went and did exactly what you're not supposed to do. You know, you're not supposed to hurt your friend. Like there's some sort of cause that you lead, and you're supposed to be part of the group, part of the herd. I'm a cow too. And when I thought that she was the one leading the group, it was me all along, you know? I was I was telling, well, not by words, but by my actions, I was kind of going, okay, you shut up now because this person hasn't talked in a while. So let's all shut up so we can listen to this person talk, even though they have nothing to say right now. They're not interested in the conversation right now, but it's their turn to talk, so everyone else gotta shut up. And, trying to make sure that everyone gets enough room without taking into account how much room they want in the group. And do they even want to talk now? And I was trying to force them into discussions, and I was the one who was trying to dictate what we were going to talk about, because I was so worried that, well, if no one is talking, then I have to make sure that everyone talks. I mean, when you think about it, it's crazy, And I wasn't the person I am. The way I see it is, I've had no personality since I started therapy. I've kind of been an empty shell. I've been ripping off parts of myself. Every time I every time I've done something that the outside world has said is wrong, I've ripped that part from me and decided that it's wrong and it shouldn't be there. And in its place has been left an empty shell, basically, of what's supposed to be a person but is only a person in functions rather than, a full being. And when I started on my healing process, I was trying so hard to please everyone, all my therapists, the people trying to help me, that I was grabbing pieces from them all that they prescribed for me, or that I thought that they prescribed for me. That this is what a person is supposed to be like. So I take a piece here, and I take a piece there, and then I take a piece from there, and then I'll have a whole complete person. But the person I was building, it wasn't the right person. The person I was building was a narcissist. It was a person who had to be perfect at everything. Because if the person wasn't perfect, then they can't exist. What's the point of building a person if they're not perfect? And I started behaving like a perfect person. I know everything. I see everything. I feel everything. I know what everyone's thinking. And I'm healed. I'm fixed. I'm a completely fixed person. There's nothing wrong with me. Thank you very much. And you plebs down there, I will help you. I will heal you. Because I know how to do this. I know the right way to heal someone. And even in the video yesterday, where I was trying to talk about who I am, I said, I'm Jess. I like art. I like sculpting. I like Batman. I like Houdini. These aren't personality traits. These are shallow things. Shallow pieces. Yes, I like to do those things. But that's not just who I am. You know, I'm not these things. Who am I? This person inside. It's not just a person who likes things. And I realized that I am not a person. I am just an amalgamation of different parts that I've picked up on the way. And I didn't realize it, but she realized it. She saw through the facade that I had built of this perfect person. This perfect healing journey went so smoothly, so perfectly. And now I know everything. Turns out I didn't know anything. Turns out I have to figure out who I am again. And we always say we don't want to be like our parents. You know, we want to be better than our parents. And yet I became exactly like them. The pieces I took from my mother was the survivor, you know. The one who survives no matter what. Who doesn't need help. who can do everything on their own, and who can help others, who's there just to help others. And I wanted to be the help, of course. I wanted to be the one who's there when you need them. Just like my mom is there for me when I need her. Not emotionally, but physically. That's the only way I could be as well. My friends don't need a physical person to sit there. They need an emotional person. They need a spiritual person, you know? And from my dad, I took the part that isn't even there physically. The one who says, yeah, we'll do it, I'll come here, I'll see you, I'll visit. But then never do. The one who always flakes and stays away because they know they're not good enough. And I didn't realize it. And I've ruined many friendships because of it. And I am thankful for my friend for showing me this. Because this would have happened sooner or later. Better that it happened now. And I'm going to have to find myself. Sorry about that cut. Yes, as I said, I'm going to have to find myself again. And it's not going to be easy. And I'm going to have to be honest with myself about who I truly want to be and who I truly am. And I understand that not everyone is in the position where they can sort of facilitate my search. It's not fair to go through the search on their expense if it hinders their healing. Then that's not fair on them. And so I understand if at some point they decide that they can't be my friend. I understand that now. I didn't understand it before, but I understand it now. And of course, I don't want them to leave me. I have a very big fear of abandonment, and it felt like I was abandoned again yesterday. And I was triggered. I was. And that's not a healthy thing for them either. And yeah, I understand. I understand much better now than I did yesterday. And I hope that I can find myself even while being a friend. And if I feel like I won't be able to find myself without hurting them, without draining them, without stopping their rehabilitation, then I will walk away and be thankful for what they taught me. But for now, see, the fear of abandonment brings me to tears. It's so deep, and I wish I could afford therapy again. That I could go through these things with someone who is made who has made themselves into a therapist, who has accepted the role of carrier, to carry a person who's trying to heal. But I can't afford it at the moment, so I will have to do it on my own and hopefully get as much support as possible from my friends and my family without draining them. I want to also give and help them, support them. But not walk for them, just walk next to them. I got dog hair in my nose and that itch. Sorry. Yeah, friendships aren't easy, especially when you're broken and you act out through your trauma and you don't act in an authentic way. And I suppose this is a textbook example of how trauma acts out, how traumatic person inadvertently ends up, sabotaging themselves. I did. I was so desperate to be a friend that I sabotaged my friendships. All of them. Sucks. Sucks so much. I'm shrugging. I don't know what else to say, really. I'll get through this. I mean, I'll find myself. Even if I have to break down several more personalities, fake personalities that show up in between. I'll break them down until I build me up. And it's going to be a more honest me. And I'm happy. I'm happy that annoying me that I was building is being broken down. I wouldn't like that person. I wouldn't want to hang out with that person either. I mean, I can't blame them. So, I'm gonna be crying for a long time. And now that the crying started. And hey, maybe I'll lose some kilos by crying. Maybe I'll lose some kilos by destroying that stupid person that I was building. That cocky, annoying little shit. I mean, I'll take some parts with me. I like the person, the part where, I had the courage to even start a group, to even start talking about friendship. I'll take that part with me. I like that part. I'll also take the part with the inner child. I'll take her with me. She deserves it. And I'll take the part that listens with me as well. But not just listens. Someone who also shares. And I want to share things with those close to me. They deserve the news first. They deserve to hear my thoughts before I tell YouTube about my thoughts. And they deserve a true me. And a me who can commit to a friendship. Who is ready to commit to a friendship. And if that's too much, then that's my loss. And it was meant to be, like that. I will always, of course, be happy for what they've given me. And I'm not about to give up yet, I'm stubborn. I'm going to keep trying until I get it right. And I am going to try this friendship thing, but in a different way. I am going to tell them more about what's going on inside. I'm going to cry in front of them if I need to. And I am going to show the parts of me that maybe aren't the prettiest, that I've been told aren't pretty. And if they don't like those parts, then it was just not meant to be. I understand it. And I have to accept, in that case, that I'm not being left behind. I am not being abandoned. We just didn't fit. You mean you can't squeeze two small pants on your big R's? I mean, it doesn't fit. It doesn't fit. Forcing it on only is gonna make them split, Then you show your R's to everyone. I don't know if that made any sense. That's just how I saw it. But yeah, that's really, I wanted to give you an update of what happened. I mean, my channel is called Fixing Life, and this is definitely part of life, friendships and sadness and ups and downs and misunderstandings and miscommunication and not being just for everyone. I'm not, as I said, giving up now, but I will accept that if I harm them with my fake personality or if my own searching becomes a hindrance for them, then for all our sakes, even for my sake, I will leave And that's the adult thing to do. And the way a real friend acts, that's what we do. And as hard as it is, because I can tell you this growing bit was one of the most painful growing bits I've had. I mean, they don't call it growing pains for nothing. But it has brought this new knowledge that I was walking the wrong path. And that path was going to end in a, big old fall, and it wasn't going to lead where I wanted it to lead, and for that I am grateful. And she didn't accept an easy task, and she didn't even have to do it, but she did it for me. She went through that pain with me. And that makes her a fucking great healer. Excuse my language. Maybe I shouldn't swear when I call someone something good. But that makes her a great healer. And I know she is going to be great for the kids that she wants to teach and the people that she wants to help. I know she will be able to help many. They may not always want to. They may not always be grateful for it. If they don't understand, then, they will act like I acted yesterday. They will kick and scream and cry, and they will blame her for it. She hasn't picked an easy road, that's for sure. Or I would say she hasn't been given an easy road to walk. But she will heal people. That I know for sure. And she's already doing a great job, and I am really proud of her for who she is. And I'm really happy that she walked this path with me and that our paths crossed. And even if we don't end up walking the same road forever, or step by step forever, I will always be grateful that she at least ended up on my path. Yeah. And I will be proud to say that I know her. I know this woman who heals, who can heal people the hard way, the real way. I think Houdini wants some cuddles now, so I have to go.